Hey, I think we're in and we're live. I see Nick Sando is here. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.
About the unimaginable
Whoa. Oh,
situations
hang on. Something
families in
else is happening here.
Afghanistan.
Sorry about that. Hey, had sound from another video. Welcome to the post-show discussion after Good Works, Gerald's secret origin story. A very fun one. I'm going to give it a couple minutes just to let a couple people roll in here. Hey, Abby's here. Captain N is here. Eli, what's up? Julio, hey. Atlas, hello. Thanks for joining us, guys. We have a couple people hopefully joining us this evening to chat about this particular episode. And as soon as we kind of we'll get some people. That's great. Crozo, what's up? Hey, Cheyenne, thank you very much. We'll do a little chit chat with the folks who kind of show up as we go along here, and then we'll answer some questions from you guys because that's always a lot of fun. Rob, g'day out there in Australia. That's a great Aussie accent. All right, I'm gonna bring in Nick Sando here. Hey, Claire. Hey, Jose. Hey, Bumblebee. Here comes Nick. You know him. You'll love him. In this particular episode, he played the chief of police. Ladies and gentlemen, Sando.
Hey, everybody. Doing laundry, watching some Good Works. It's great.
That's very exciting. Nick, how the heck are you?
Good. That was fun.
Yeah.
Good
You have
show.
any big initial thoughts or memories about this particular episode?
No, I was impressed. Chaz directed this one and wrote it
Mm-hmm.
and started it. So when I showed up, just seeing them just get to work, the way he was talking to all the lighting guys and the director and all that, and just the way they set it up, I thought they did a beautiful job. I love the stuff at the bar. So that was fun.
Yeah.
I like that long shot. I had to go at that point, and he kept doing that long shot where Carlos goes behind the bar to mix the drink. And I had to go pick up my kids from school, and I'm like, what is he doing? Why doesn't he cut away? And now I finally see why. I couldn't see what the shot was at the bar, and I'm like, okay, that was worth it, I guess.
The important thing about a director is they have a vision, and you just got to go with it,
Yeah.
Speaking of, Chaz is here. I think we only have him for a limited time, so
put him on.
He's getting himself situated. He looks very cold. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Writer, director, Gerald in this episode, Chaz Laughlin.
Hey, thanks for that introduction, Colin. Appreciate that. I appreciate you also setting this up. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good.
We can hear you.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being here. Nick, thank you for joining. We should be. Last one, I talked to James and Carlos. They said they were going to be here. So we should be seeing them shortly too.
Chaz, any big memory or thought from this episode for you?
I guess I'm just really grateful. That's the thing I got. Just because it was really cool to get everybody in there and just chipping in. Even the location was a bar I was working at, and the owners let me use the bar. So, I mean, just the fact that everybody pitched in just had me just really honored and happy. And I'm glad. I think I like the way it turned out. I think it looked and sounded pretty good. Yeah. And Nick, your performance really helped. So thank you for stepping up.
Oh, no problem. It was fun.
Sure. Yeah. That's the only bit we're going to see of Nick this whole time?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe next.
What was so? Do you have a couple minutes, Chaz?
Yeah, I know I do. I have more time than I thought.
Okay,
so
cool.
I'm in the middle of a mountain. I can't say much more than that because NDAs and stuff.
Okay.
But there's a shuttle coming to get me eventually. They haven't said when. Like I was telling Colin privately, the scheduling is like all over the place here. So I may be leaving at 8. I may be leaving now. I have no idea.
Well, while we have you, at least, what was sort of the inspiration for Gerald's backstory here?
one of the things was working with Carlos. He had said he wanted to be a villain multiple times, and we had uh, kind of worked in different places for that. So I wanted to give him an opportunity, and I knew I wanted to bring Nick in. So I created those kind of roles for them. And the one that made sense, since we were going to have Gerald and his backstory be a police officer, is to have Nick be somebody like a father figure to me, like Chief, and then also Carlos, just to I put him in the most evil kind of
Yeah.
fun thing that I could put him in, just because that is pretty messed up, what he's done. And also with YouTube, knowing that I don't want things to be too visually violent, but I thought that was just a real sinister way. And it's one of those things where it just kind of unfolded on its own, and I was just lucky enough to kind of get the story to put out there. I don't know if that does that make sense.
Just does me when you thought of him when we first was going through all of our characters. Gerald was always going to have sort of a mysterious past, and he was
Yes.
going to have some screw up that wasn't entirely his fault, right? This was sort of early days.
Well, actually, originally, the roofie was something that I added later.
Okay.
Originally, I knew that Gerald got a DUI, and that the cops, since he was a cop, they helped him out and they helped cover up what he was doing. And that was the origin of the mystery with Gerald, and why he doesn't really want to get to know anyone too well, because then if they start digging into his past, they'll find the messed up things he's done. And then the Carlos drugging him, which also totally works, because Gerald would feel guilty because he doesn't know whether he was or wasn't, like just something
No reason
weird
to believe it. Yeah.
right. And it's very fun to set up that conflict. But yeah, I thought that it came together really well. And Colin, you did a great job integrating this into the story. And we saw in the last episode the confrontation, because Carlos Norman recognizes Gerald, but Gerald doesn't recognize him back, which I thought
Yeah.
was probably a great little setup. And you really did a good job executing that. So thank you for that one. That was a great little setup
It's fun.
moment.
A little intrigue. You want to keep things moving.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off camera. I have to sneak it's my wife's birthday tomorrow, and I got flowers and stuff and
Wow.
balloons, all these balloons. So she just left to get my kids, and I'm gonna sneak them in here real quick. But I'll be here.
Cool. Thank you, Nick, and I appreciate you being here for this too.
No, yeah, it's fun. I
Yeah,
forgot.
don't go too far. We'll answer some questions. I'm going to remove you from the studio. See you in a second.
Cool. But yeah, as you know, Colin, it's a lot of work putting a project together, but I'm really happy with it. Like,
Yeah.
the performance has really helped out, and James does a wonderful job too, being kind of like an emotional anchor at the end.
Yeah, and that too. It's fun to get to see to kind of weave Coach's character into the broader tapestry, and that he and Gerald now have an agreement of some sort.
Yeah,
Good
I
stuff.
thought that was a fun thing to kind of tie in there. And it also, talking with James, I wanted to work him in just more, just because he loves being on set, and I love working with the guy. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where the outside motivations and the story itself both kind of were aligned.
Yeah,
Sorry,
really
I
great.
tried to hold my phone, but it's pretty cold.
You look great. It's a perfect angle on you.
Yeah,
You got
right up the nose, huh?
a little halo there.
Yeah,
coming
it's true. Yeah, the stage light's perfect here.
You want to answer some questions?
Yeah, throw them at me. Thanks for running this, Colin.
Absolutely. Let's see. Why was Carlos dressed up like Mario from the game Root Beer Tapper? Asks Captain.
I don't even know what that game is, but I knew I wanted Carlos to have just like a bartender outfit that was not a real bartender outfit, but what somebody who wasn't a bartender might have, like an idea of what a bartender was. So we kind of wanted him to look like he was like an old Western kind of cowboy bartender. So like the little cufflinks. Yeah, that was
The tape.
gaff tape. Yeah,
Gaff tape.
I gaff taped it on there, and I was worried, but then on camera it totally read.
Yeah.
Do you know what those are called? I have no idea.
No, I feel like I'm the kind of person who should, but no, I don't.
Yeah, especially with that mustache, I feel like you would know. Like you almost look like you got like that outfit.
I won't say anything underneath. But, Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. I know. I think I only noticed this time that it was gaff tape, and I thought that was very funny. And the fact that
Oh,
so whose idea was it to put the mustache upside down and terrible?
that was me. And I was just like, it's because it's also a very serious episode. And Carlos is he's one of the best physical comedy
Yeah.
actors I've ever met. And so I was like, okay, let's lean into his strength. And I had this fake mustache that was just sitting in my closet for no less than 3 or 4 years because I was like, someday I'm going to need a fake mustache. And then I looked at it when I was prepping the day before and I was like, today is the day. And I knew because I also wanted to have him a little bit once again where it's like a disguise,
Yeah.
but not a very good one, just because it's in that way. It kind of tied in story wise to make sense, something to disguise him, and also just the funny gag of him taking the mustache off the end, which was simultaneously I thought funny, but also I directed him and he executed it perfectly to make it just a little bit sinister with it, just a little
Yes.
slow
Yeah.
and
It wasn't just a tear. It was.
yeah,
I'm
and then
very pleased with myself.
yes, and he executed that so perfectly. It was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
And it was also great because that was one of the more intricate sound designs I've done this episode. And that was like a fun one to add like the little tearing, and I felt like it added like a nice texture to it.
Yeah. Very much.
Yeah, I was gonna give him a text and let him just a reminder because I know he sent him the email. Um, because I'd love to see Carlos and hear what he has to say about it because he brings so much to this, and James as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love
Do
to
you
hear.
have your phone handy?
I do.
Would you do me a favor? Could you? It's just because I'm on my phone here.
Should I give my number out right now?
Yeah, why not? If while you're at it, can we get your social security yet?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, and I think Carlos actually still has my bow tie because that was my bow tie too, and it's been because we filmed it about a month ago, and he still has my bow tie.
I can't believe it. He is evil.
I know he just totally went into character. As soon as he was on set, he's like, "This is my new relationship."
I mean, we can talk about him while he's not here, at least. Carlos is a very giving actor, I would say. He
Yeah,
comes with a lot of ideas and ready to play, and like he always has a little hint of mischief in everything that he does. I think, like even when he's like playing like deep, we've seen him do drama before and stuff like that. There's always this little like mischievous thing going on behind him.
yeah, yeah. And it was great to. I saw some of the comments talking about me and Carlos getting to do a scene together. So I'm glad that people look forward to that because I look forward to that because Carlos and I have just done so much from our previous work and the other stuff. So it was fun to get in and step into that with him again. And he also is somebody who is so prepared every time you show up to set. He's gonna know his lines, and
Yeah,
that's part one of the keys. I think that a lot of people underappreciate or don't realize that that brings such a level of professionalism and it
and
just
ease,
elevates everything in ease. Yes,
the
that's
ease
well
with
put.
which an actor can do their job when it's all up there is incredible.
Yeah, and it shows. And honestly, everyone brought that to it. I want to ask everybody in the chat: did you guys see all this? Did you guys spot him? Because there's a secret character in there. Because we talked about James, uh, we talked well Carlos, James, and Nick. But there's one more actor who has like a really just a blip of a moment, and we kind of tease it. I don't know if you noticed, like the Employee of the Month poster. Colin, have you noticed it? Did you see it?
I saw it.
Oh, okay, so you know where all this is. Let me if anyone can knows if anyone saw it, go ahead and comment down below, or go back and find it and tag me in the comment because I'd like to see if people saw that. I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, it's good. It's a nice little. If you didn't catch it the first time, sincerely go back and watch it because it's subtle and it's spooky.
Yeah, and once again adds like a layer of sinisterness because I just wanted Carlos. I didn't want him to just be a villain. I wanted him to just be the most sinister we could have him be.
Yeah,
And we actually had a take. This is sorry. Were you gonna say something, Colin?
I was gonna say maybe stay tuned. On
Stay
that note,
tuned. Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen? But there was a take, and this is one of like the tragedies of film. We hit record, and it was so great because we have when Carlos is scene, we are doing it in a oneer from him going in. He does the whole scene, and then out, and we had to cheat it and cut it with an insert with the drugs. But originally it was just a oneer, and on the last take, we had almost no time because Nick had to go. He had to get to take care of his kids, as you know, a father should. And we did it, and it was so amazing. We had this bit where we had Carlos have a rag with chloroform, and he puts it over Aldis's face. Yeah, it's insane, and that was a bit that they came up with themselves, just because we had Abraham. He's the actor who plays Aldis, and he was helping me out. And then he's just like, he wakes up and he puts him back. It's like, it was a lot. It was very aggressive, so maybe we wouldn't have put it in anyways. But it was like one of those moments where it was genius, funny, and sinister. And just also just so naturally and well improvised because just everybody involved was at their peak performance that day. It was one of those where we didn't have much time because the venue, we only had a certain amount of time, so we had to cook. And we weren't able to go back and get one just because we lost Nick on that. Speaking of all this now.
Oh, really?
This is Abraham.
Hey, we can't hear you very well.
You can't hear me anymore. Oh, how about now? It should have just switched. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, this is Aldis, Abraham. He played
What's
Aldis
up,
in the thing.
Hey, Abraham, great work.
Colin?
Yeah, I know, you guys haven't met.
We have not.
Now, Colin is one of the partners at Good Works.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Abraham's one of my good friends. He's on this job with me up in the middle of nowhere. Are you freezing?
Not yet, but I'm eventually going to get there.
Yeah, that's what he did.
I hope you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Do we got any more comments? Any questions coming up, Colin?
I think we do. Is Nick going to be in more episodes? Asks Rob Andrew.
That is a fantastic question. I would love to tell you guys, but I've signed so many NDAs. I don't want Good Works Productions coming for me.
Yeah, keep an eye out, I guess. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Asks Princess Plays Shorts.
Apart from being cold, we're great.
Yeah. We're having a pretty good time out
Yeah, we
here.
are.
How are you doing, Colin?
I'm doing pretty good.
Over there?
Who can complain? Oh, my wife just closed my office door.
That's sweet.
Hang on. We got some. What are the chances Carlos' character is connected to all of the characters? Asks Jose Hernandez.
Well, everyone in Gerald in the Gerald mugshot, he absolutely is connected to.
Yeah. We'll see a little bit more weaving, I imagine. What can we
It's starting to get cold. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave.
It's cold out here, right?
See you guys.
I think it's like, is it under 20 yet?
I'm going to check when I get
I think it's
inside.
like under 20 degrees
It's
at this
nuts.
point. There was a high of like 40.
I was cold this morning and it was about 68 degrees. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I am also wearing an ungodly amount of layers.
Yeah.
I look forward for everyone else to finding out everything that we know. I don't want to spoil too much just because I feel like that's half the fun of watching these, especially because I feel like everyone who's here right now, these are the people that are with us. I've seen a lot of the same names, so you guys are the ones who kind of know the story. But yeah, I'm really excited about these last couple that we've done. They're all like in a nice linear storytelling.
Jose Hernandez asks, Chaz, what's your favorite scene to have ever done with Carlos?
Oh man, I think I got one. Carlos and I have done so many, and we have a very fun relationship that we've kind of brought through a lot of them. One of my favorite shoots in general was the one where Colin, you were in this one too, the one where we stayed up. I always bring this up. Yeah, we stayed up until 3 a.m. It was the one where I was an ADA scammer in a wheelchair, which is just insane. That was from He Who Shall Not Be Named Studios. That was so funny just because Carlos and Colin, I actually got out of there like an hour earlier than them.
But that was fun. But as far as the actual question of my favorite scene, there's one in the courtroom we do that's very fun too. Me and Carlos are just both at the maximum of our emotional sensitivities at each other. Yeah, that's like probably my favorite like dramatic one.
Oh,
My favorite goofy one is one where Carlos is my best friend, and I borrow my dad's car for a driving license kind of test, and I get arrested, which is just absurd. And when I'm getting arrested, Carlos shows up after he just went on a walk to like watch some birds, and he comes back, and my dad calls me, and I have Carlos reach into my pocket, and he's like digging for a while, and we just had so much improv on that one. He pulls out my phone and talks to my dad, and it's probably my favorite scene that we ever did together.
that was
Yeah.
early in the next studio, if I recall. You guys got to go play early in the big warehouse versus the smaller studio. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. That was at the God, it all kind of blends together. I don't know if it's like that for you too. I'm like, man, I don't know when I did which one.
Yeah.
There are a few landmark ones, like the 88 case one is a big one for me. I don't know why that one I remember so well, but I don't know when we did it. I had long hair, which tells me a little bit.
A little earlier.
Yeah, like that's like my one thing is that my long hair. Like I can tell by the way I look. I'm like, oh yeah, it was like about that ish time. But it all blends together. Is it like that for you too?
Oh, very much. Yeah. Especially toward the end. I mean, I was just doing the same lines every time, so that's one of the reasons it was time to find something else.
Yeah. Wait, well, hold on. Can you give me that line from that same episode? You know what I'm talking about?
Probably because I'm the guy with the folder full of photos of you committing fraud. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm an undercover federal agent.
Never lost it, man. That's another thing. Yeah.
End of time.
And the water bottle sound that came out, that was in the final video too. Because the door kept swinging open. The door kept swinging open, so we ended up putting a water bottle to hold it. So, and you hear the water bottle
it crunches
falling through the scene, which is pretty funny. That was a good moment. I do miss working together so often. That's the one thing. It's nice to do our own show, but there's so much time that goes into it that's not on set.
Yeah, it's true.
And that is not the stuff that's not nearly as fun. Being on set with everybody is way more fun. And
we're the jerks who have to say, stop screwing around. We got to go to work.
Yeah, and we're saying it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Huh?
That's too bad.
Yeah, but it's okay. Someday we'll be in another situation. But it's one of those things where lightning strikes and it's there, and a beautiful moment is beautiful because it doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
It's beautiful because it's fleeting, and you get to enjoy it while it's there.
Going back to a question you asked of the audience earlier.
Oh.
Jose Hernandez saw it. Eli Pierce saw it. Claire did not see it. She's going to watch it again.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It looked like a child, which is spooky.
Oh, my God. Well, as you saw, Abe is just about my height exactly, so he'd be the tallest child I've ever met.
That was very exciting. People checking in.
Yeah, I wonder what was. Does anyone say that it startled you guys? Do you think it's funny? I have no idea what people's reaction was going to be. It was just one of those where, as an artist, I'm like, I'm just going to put it right here and see what people think. Because for me, I think it's hilarious, but I also have a very dark sense of comedy.
If you're here, go back to the main video and comment on what you thought about seeing that.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go back and watch the video.
That's true. That was another thing. I wanted it to be one of those things where there's value in watching it again, just to find little Easter eggs. That's one thing I like to do with stuff I make.
Yeah, little reasons to come back.
Yeah, and it's fun, and it's kind of rewarding for people who do pay attention to little moments and stuff.
We got some people saying they're going to go back and rewatch.
Nice guys.
Do you see a lot of birds on that day? What do you mean by that, Captain? Did he see a lot of birds on that day?
Like the flying ones or the scooters?
I'm thinking a flying one because he also included an emoji of a bird.
No, I was inside. So I ended up I shot it over the course of 3 separate days, which was like the 3 kind of separate sections. We have the bar section, which I don't think I saw a bird the whole day. Not a one, because we were inside the entire time. Maybe, God, I was driving in one of the sections, so I hope I didn't pay attention to the birds. I definitely saw some scooters there, though, the bird scooters, in my neighborhood, which is at this address. No. Right next to Colin's house.
That's right.
You
live in California. That's all you need to know.
Yes, maybe. And then the part where James actually at my house is where we filmed it. I had him come over. I don't think I saw any birds there because there's a tree outside the window, but almost never a bird there. There's actually a man in that tree during Thanksgiving, oddly enough. Yeah. My roommate was home and he like opens the window. Was like, "What are you doing?" And we think the guy was trying to break into like either our neighbor's house or our house. It was kind of crazy.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that tree right there is actually kind of a hazard. It's pretty to look at, but now I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, maybe it's time to take that one down.
The tree. I mean, try to get my landlord to do anything.
Well, there's also make a choice and ask for forgiveness later. Just go ahead and take it down.
That's true. It's actually on the other property, like the property, because the tree grows up on their side.
Then you'd be more of a vandal or something, less than a rebel. A hero.
Yeah.
Well, I'll level with you. I'm not seeing a lot of other questions. If you got a question, send a question. Can you talk to me about the driving scene? There's a shot of it looks pretty darn close to your face and looks like you're really driving. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So now I can throw my AirPods back on. Give me just a moment because I think it like lags for a second. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. I realized I can see the chat. I downloaded the app so I can see the chat. The driving scene was one where Abe actually helped me shoot that one too. That shot is my favorite shot in the entire thing, and I think it just looks so cool. It looks kind of like a snorri cam shot. And what I did is I literally had Abe and Rose filming me. They were my team, and I took the camera and I just set it right above my steering wheel, and then I just drove. And I was like, well, I hope my camera doesn't fall. But it turned out so pretty. I wanted to do it at night, but lighting wise, I felt it was better to have a little more light, so I just did it, and then I spent an ungodly amount of time coloring it because I did it in the evening, and I just spent a lot of time coloring the whole shot to look evening-ish, and it was a lot of work, but I was really happy with the way it turned out. I learned a lot doing that one just because I wanted to keep my skin orange, but the outside blue, which is it was a whole lot of work, but I really like the way it turned out.
Is that like doing lassos and stuff, or is it really just the whole image?
Well, it's a bit of both. And actually, so what I've learned doing this is, and Colin, you helped me out the other night. So I colored it in DaVinci Resolve, which is a different program. And they don't actually do masks quite like you can lasso it, but they have it a lot more advanced color features stuff, and they actually have a new one in the fully upgraded version where you can literally just like boop, press a magic mask and it'll mask out the entire person and track it the entire time. It's insane. It's very insane. I didn't have the full feature version, so I had to do a little bit of the lassoing, which actually was the easy part. For whatever reason, when I brought it into Premiere, it was so frustrating because I was like, I just had to hit export, and then when I hit export, it just was all wonky, and I basically spent like 3 days trying to fix it, which was very frustrating. But at the end, I figured it out, and I'm happy with the way it all looks.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was a lot of work. Hey, sorry, guys. Am I bothering you? Okay. So, no, you're not. I'm just doing like a little live stream with some people.
Tell me, get
No,
out
you're
of here.
good. No. This is what I'm saying. Doing like is Michael Vaccaro coming back as Rip Sinclair? What do you say, Colin?
Not yet.
Not yet. It's good. You might watch the next episode and see what happens.
Well, yeah, who knows? Eli Pierce asks whose origin story is next. Yeah, stay tuned. At the moment, I think we can kind of say our season finale is next.
Yes.
But we'll see. I guess we have other folks obviously in our group who have not released origin stories. We're going to continue to learn a lot about people.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something I've floated to individuals, and I know Clay talked about one. Dylan talked about doing one. Colin, we honestly could go back and do yours, like a legit, because your origin story isn't quite really an origin story. It's more of just like this is the first moment of the show.
Yeah.
It's like an intro to the setting. You really could go do the moment with you and Ophelia.
I will say, somebody today on my Instagram asked, "Are you going to do the origin story with Ophelia?" And it made me almost weep that they used the name Ophelia. Like somebody was watching the show and they were like aware of this. And yeah, to see that, because I think it'd be a very funny opportunity because of who Howard is, and Howard being darn sure that he wasn't making a mistake. And then you have this girl who's very good at accounting, realizing and like he just doesn't get it. I don't know. I think there's some good stuff that come out of it.
Nice. Have you? So I mean, you've considered it then, or have you?
I consider everything.
Because I know I've spoken with James about possibly doing one with him. I haven't floated it to everybody, but it's something he's open to as well. So there are probably a few more origin stories we can pump out.
Yeah,
they're a lot easier to do. They're smaller scale. We don't have to get 6 people's schedules aligned, 6+ people.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You shot and did the post, all of the post, or how much of what was the post like on the Michelle origin story for you?
I edited it. Mare did the sound.
Nice.
And yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we kind of cranked that guy out in a few days. We could keep doing things like that.
Yeah. Well, great. So maybe, guys, there are possibility for some more origin stories on the way.
Yeah, we'll see what they have.
Who's playing Ophelia? Ooh, to be determined. I don't think we have anybody. And
I got some.
Say that.
We would never say anybody, but we got ideas.
We have ideas. We definitely have floated some ideas of people we would love to have there. And definitely people I would think that they're familiar with. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
Let's see. Can we have a scene where Nick dresses up as a wrestler? Probably not. It's possible, but I don't know. If we pay Nick enough, he'll probably do it.
I gotta say, Captain N, your level of pop culture awareness, the way that you can just sling all these references, never ceases to amaze me. I see you in here every time. I don't share all of your comments because I feel like they're for us, but you're so fast with these pop culture references. It's crazy.
Did we hear anything back from James or Carlos?
Carlos just informed me that, brother, my schedule got a little crazy. So
that's the most Carlos answer. That's so funny. Okay, that's unfortunate, but glad. Thank you for being here with me, Colin. And is Nick still here? Or did he pop off for good?
Nick just popped back in. Nick, give me a little thumbs up if you want to get back in here. Okay, perfect. Here comes Nick again. Real quick, Claire asks, on the more origin stories front, are we going to see Clay's and Sister Mare's origin story? There's a possibility to walk down the street to see some of Clay's story. We're still kind of working some stuff out there. And as far as the sisters' origin story, stay very tuned. We can't say much of anything, but just keep watching.
Yeah, you may or may not find out more about Sister Carolyn.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, how you doing? Are you being safe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is virtual background.
Okay.
Gotta run errands, but I set all the balloons up, so I'm proud.
So
I love listening to all that.
So, Nick, people were asking whether or not you're going to be in any more future episodes. Do you have anything you want to comment about that?
Without saying anything,
Without
anything you want to say?
Right, that's the thing. It's all hush hush. It's like a mystery to me, even. I mean, I don't even. They won't even show me the footage.
Yeah, you didn't even really get a full script. You had to come to my house, read the script on red paper, just your lines, not even the whole scene.
Yep, and we had security outside the entire time.
It's crazy.
Very, very, very security over here at Good Works.
I know, but it was fun to see everyone. It's bad James isn't on here either, and Carlos didn't make it. But yeah, just all four of us there at the beginning, and that was funny. Your buddy popping in like that. You did reveal a little bit about it. I'm glad you talked about him.
Oh yeah, he actually is on this job with me. He was right here and got to talk about it a little bit.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah,
So,
and it was. How was it for you getting to be on set with everybody again?
oh, this is so fun. I wish I had more time.
Right, same.
That I had to leave, and then but yeah.
Oh, James is in the chat.
Yes,
James.
Colin,
check your email and click on the other link.
Oh yeah, you probably went to the one to share the live, huh?
Yeah.
I'm excited to get James in here for this one.
A couple links. James, go to your email, click the other link.
James is arriving in the parking lot, so we got to walk to set together, cracking jokes about.
I'm at 10% right now too. I'm gonna stay on as long as I can.
We're going all night.
It looks like the shuttle. Hopefully it just didn't leave me, but I don't know. It's scheduled a date, so maybe it will be on time.
Oh, maybe we shouldn't let you run out of battery then. If you're in the middle of a mountain.
No, there's like a big crew here. It's fine. They won't leave me. And like people have seen me. They know me. I'm here. They know I'm here. And Abe knows I'm here. He won't leave without me. Probably.
Okay.
No promises, but it's probable he won't. I do want to say thank you to everybody for your patience and thank you for showing up. And Colin, I read this marketing book. I don't know how you feel about this, but I wanted to pitch this to everybody. It's okay. You can say no here. It's fine. I was thinking about we promised good, not fast.
Yeah.
No, I just thought that was kind of funny because it's like we took our time with this one. Our last post before this section was like,
Colin, you're the only one I haven't seen. Sorry, go ahead, Chase.
Oh, go for it, Nick. Chime in, please.
Oh no, I was just thinking, since when we shot that, Colin wasn't there, but I've worked with Michael and Mayor and Carlos, and I haven't seen Colin in a minute, or have I? But no, I'm glad that you're running this live, and I've seen your other episodes. That last one, by the way, the previous week was so good. Who you wrote that one, right, Colin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are all hilarious.
It turned out, it was sort of an experiment, and I think it turned out real well.
Yeah. It's almost like, dang, bro, I kind of wish you did the whole show like that because that was very fun.
Yeah,
it allowed us to.
I will say
make the camera was a character in that one.
What is fun about our show? This episode skews a little more serious. Right. Future episodes might. Some of them are like totally madcap, silly, like the one with where Rip. Hey, James is here. James is getting set up. We're gonna give him 1 second. Is very silly. The end when we're all like in the kitchen with all like doing coke and with the knives and everything like that. Like we can go very silly and we can go really serious and we can do a mockumentary episode and we can do like a regular sitcom episode. And I think that is what really cool about our show is that we, from the outset, we didn't really like nail down one concept. We can have shorter episodes, we can have longer episodes. And that's kind of cool. We still get to play the same characters and live in the same worlds, but we're not necessarily tied to one show, which is cool.
Yeah, no, it's I'm real happy with the way the flexibility went, and also just to throw you flowers, Colin. The live was something Colin pitched. I think I don't know the day before we posted the trailer,
Oh, maybe, yeah.
and it was just like I think this has been a great element to add because it's nice to get to talk to you guys and hear your feedback right away because it really does matter to us, and it's also I feel like it's fun for us to get to do more interacting and to talk about the episode in a way that's makes sense. You know, kind of like
Yeah.
HBO has their after special. Feels
Yeah.
like this is our after special.
After good. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, sure. After good. After
What
work.
my picture. All right, I want to bring on James. You know him, you love him. He plays Coach on our show. He's officially called Coach G, but I don't think anybody ever calls him that. Here he is. Boom. Hey, James.
The man, the myth, the legend. Welcome.
How you doing? What's
Hello,
up?
sir.
Can you hear me? You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's going on, guys?
So,
I
James.
just sat down. I just got home, so I wanted to jump in real quick. So I just got home.
Thank
How's
you for taking the time with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Can we jump right in? Claire says hi to you, James. Can we jump right in and ask you if any, for this particular episode, Gerald's origin story, any big memories or thoughts about the episode, the making of the episode, anything?
Well, I was telling Chaz when we filmed it that Mario's is that the episode we're talking about?
We're talking about
The Gerald origin story.
yeah, in the bar.
Which
Yeah,
one is it?
Mario's the director on he's directed a couple of our projects, guys. It's Gerald Origin at the bar. With
At
you,
the
me,
bar.
Nick.
Okay, yes.
At the bar,
yes.
yeah.
I'm talking about the- okay, so just watching Carlos prepare and find comedic buttons in the script was just fun to watch. You go into the episode knowing what the script says on paper, but once people start acting it out, it takes on a whole new life. And it was my first time getting to work with him. I always wanted to work with him at the other place, but never got an opportunity. So, it was cool to watch what he did with an already funny script, and he would just find little pieces in there to make it even funnier. And I'm like, man, I had to go back home and read the script again. And I'm like, oh man, how'd he find that? How'd he find that in there? So it's great to watch great people work, and along with Chaz, along with you, Colin, man, just seeing people. You guys are kind of naturally funny, and I feel like I have to rehearse mine a little bit. So it's cool to watch you guys come off the cuff and just be really magical like that. I love it, man.
That's interesting.
Well, let me
show
throw
up.
some
Maybe
flowers
you
your way.
do a lot of work at home, but when you arrive on set, I'm never worried about you.
Yeah.
And very
appreciate
often,
James,
it's like,
don't
James,
you
get
dare
in
put
here, do your
yourself
thing.
Yeah, don't you dare put yourself down, James. I gotta say, it was just such a pleasure to direct so many committed, gifted artists,
Yeah.
and to just be in there, like to have the pleasure to be in the scene and to direct you guys. It was like an ultimate high for me, just of life. But also, James, you have that ability to just adjust on a dime, and like when we shot the stuff at my house with the eggs and all that.
Oh yeah.
You made it so easy. Just pinpoint. You were like, your first choice was so brilliant, and then I'm like, let's try it this way. Boom, and somehow you make it even more brilliant, and you do such a good job of holding the emotional gravitas needed for that scene to work. And I just got to say, it was just such a pleasure because you just are so easy to work with as a friend and as a colleague and as an artist. Like it's such a pleasure working with you, James.
And to pile on, James, that there's a sincerity and a naturalism that you incessantly have in every episode that we have here, and work elsewhere and stuff like that. There's a scene coming up in an episode that you almost started talking about. It's just so nice to watch every single time. There's an ease, I think is the best word.
Yeah, or like a sexual charisma.
Yeah, you just you command it, and you know what you're doing, you know what you're saying, and it's very exciting to one, watch those people, and two, play with those people. Is a sincere joy.
I realize
can't
the cold
chat.
makes
You guys
things
can see the
better.
chat.
I can see
How do you
chat
see
over
it?
here if you need it. If
Oh,
you
cool.
if
Chat.
you download the app, you can see the chat. If you're on the browser, you can't really see it.
Oh, okay, I'll just do it. I'll look at it here. But yeah,
Jose says James making sure we're all behaving. That's exactly right. Behind
where
the
are
camera,
you? You're somewhere where it's cold.
I'm in Aspen right now. I can't say more than that.
Nice.
All the
Yeah.
secrets of good works. James, I wanted to say I was so sad I only got that like one line with you.
But we spent a
Yeah.
lot of time on
You know,
set, and we even got to walk from the parking garage, so we got a little bit of time.
I know.
watching you guys interact made me want to know more about your guys' story together too. I thought that was kind of interesting too. I'm glad we set that up.
Yeah.
That
Real quick, Thomas has asked this question. Thomas Fan might not, their name might not be Thomas. Maybe they're a fan themselves, but Thomas Fan asks, other than Carlos, Nick, Jessica, Maggie, who else from the other guy is at Good Works now? Is Jaslyn joining you at Good Works? I saw that on TikTok with her.
She's definitely in the fam.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in the fam.
Big issue sometimes with all of this is that we have our location especially was like really tied to things, and we would only be able to shoot certain places at certain time, and whoever we could get. So sometimes we weren't always able to get who we wanted. I'll tell you, James, I don't know if you know this, but we had an episode written more specifically for you, but you weren't available, so we had to change it around. We put a different character in.
I must have been when I was out of town.
Unfortunately, these things happen from time to time. Yeah, Jazzy's definitely, she's in the Good Works fam. We're always looking for places to put people, especially a lot of people from over there that you know and love, and other actor friends that we have that you've never seen before. People that we're always trying to put in, but just the scheduling on these things can get dicey.
Yeah, especially when you get so many people you have to cram into the big thing. That's why the origin stories are so fun, and I enjoyed, because it is something that we can kind of be more experimental with, and we can do smaller, tight-knit things just because it's easier to schedule like 4 people rather than 8. But yeah,
I saw someone saying I'm coaching them in basketball. I'm not that great in basketball, but if you want coaching in football and track, I can definitely make you faster. I trained in college and high school level, so.
Oh, I'm gonna call you up then, James. I'm gonna start doing sprints again.
Yeah, me too.
we're gonna have Nick in the
We're
block.
old, knees start creaking in the morning.
Yeah.
James, can you talk a little bit about the character of Coach? Because you had a hand in developing him. So can you talk to us about what you wanted out of him, kind of where he came from?
Well, I mean, actually, Coach is an amalgam of all my previous jobs and careers that I had previous to choosing to be on film and television. And I was actually thinking about it driving home today, that I pretty much started my life over about 3 or 4 different times by changing careers. Oh, this wasn't going in the right direction, so let me go this direction. And Coach is a life coach. He used to coach athletics. He's very, very family oriented, and all those things are me as well. I used to coach on different levels. I was in education, life coaching, and things like that. So it just kind of comes somewhat natural, but I think it's important to show that different side of me, because we were challenged in our previous place of employment, that we were kind of stuck in a one-trick pony kind of situation. And, thank God that we got together to do this, because it was something that allowed us to show the audience what more we could do, and how more we can expand our characters and persona, and just show more talents and things like that. So, it's great. It's such a blessing that we did this, man. So I thank you guys for allowing me to come along for the journey.
Carson, it's your pleasure to have you.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure. Like I said, always just so gracious. Even when you're talking now, I want you to not stop talking. Your voice just soothes me. It warms up my cold body.
Thomas's real name is Caleb, by the way. Thank you, Caleb,
saw
for
that.
introducing yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Caleb.
Caleb, okay.
Well-
So, actually, can I ask a question real fast?
Yeah.
So, if you guys had like a origin story of sorts, what would be something you'd want to kind of touch on, both Chief and Coach?
Oh, I'll let Nick go.
Oh,
got
you
any
said
ideas,
me?
Nick? Yeah.
Yeah. No, you know what I like? We got to talk a little bit about our characters, just their backstory. The fact that I was like the father figure and all that. So it'd be more like either the time we first met or just like one of those like something crazy adventure that we had, as I was training you. Unless it's like deeper than that, my specific character origin story, I might want to bring something about the drinking to it because I do have a history of that and my family and all that. It's a big subject for me, so it's like it would either be that as an origin story or just like the first time me and you met and then did some crazy bust together or something.
Yeah,
Sorry,
one was
Carlos.
about the chief of police hanging out at a bar after a day on the job. One does wonder about that story, who that guy is for
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
I'm all drinking
But also,
and wanting him to drink more, so it's like,
yeah,
Yeah,
the guy who doesn't want to drink alone. It's like, oh, what does that say? That's an interesting thing. Like, why can't he drink alone?
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was actually my point. Yeah, that was the thought I had. What about you, James? You got anything?
Yeah, we tossed a few ideas around about maybe him being a failed coach that almost made it there but didn't quite make it. So as a kind of resolution in his life, he decides to start something that helps other people. But like Nick, I'd like to show a side of a father. That's one of the main reasons I got into this career field, was to show good fathers on the screen because we have so few of them. So having him have a child that he has to take care of, or another part of my life, having an ex-wife, so you have to deal with an ex-wife maybe, or child custody, that type of thing. That could be there's a lot of drama in that, and maybe even some too. Life is funny sometimes.
That's funny. Colin, how do you feel about because we did have one of those stories where we did give Coach a family. That was one of those things we had to rework.
2 episodes actually.
Revolved around.
Oh wow!
We made 2 attempts at it.
Yeah, we had your son as a major thing, which it's so funny that you say that. And we're like, oh, that was literally something we had written, but then had to go rewrite because of scheduling.
Right.
Well, that's good.
Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, great minds think alike, and it just means that we're all kind of seeing a common vision emerge, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Especially when you're pulling something just from nothing.
Right.
And it's kind of cool to see as momentum goes. And this is like our second round of writing, because the first ones we kind of did all in one go. So it's kind of nice to see things kind of play out and things evolve over time, and it becomes more clear as you make a choice. Then the next choice becomes more interesting, but also clear which ones we have to kind of go by based on how we want the characters to go. Does that make sense? Like, it's interesting to kind of unfold and become clear the longer we're doing the thing. So it's kind of fun to see that unfold, even just as somebody on the creating side of it.
Yeah, sometimes you get surprised.
Yeah.
Even when you're behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun because it's almost like the characters have a life.
Receives it also. It's cool to see what they, what jokes land and what scenes really stick with them. So it's really cool to see that when you see it from the beginning stages all the way through.
Yeah.
And it is cool to see. This time I could almost feel the audience's feedback on some of the episodes.
Right.
Like it feels like they're like we almost have like a big group of invested people creating the story together. Like you said, like the person who's remembers Ophelia. It's cool.
It's real
cool
cool.
seeing the people who are paying attention and like exploring and creating this world with us. That's one of
Yeah.
the fun things I think about this medium is that we're creating it in real time with real feedback. So it's very fun.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well,
It's gotten colder. It's
Man, I
definitely like
see.
over the course of this live, I'm noticing significantly more breath.
that
Yeah.
terrifies me. I moved to California
No, it's
for a
fine.
reason.
Yeah. I think it's got to be getting close to like 10, 12 degrees.
10, 12
Wow.
degrees. Doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
I'm driving barefoot in a t-shirt, the cooler on. Oh man.
It's crazy. All right, friends. Well, I think we've cracked this nut, and there's a lot of great stuff we talked about. I'd like to personally invite Nick and James to join us next week, and all of you watching here. We'll have a real corker of a live following the big finale. Lots of interesting stuff happened. Go back. I mean this sincerely, and I'm not just trying to, jack up views or whatever. Go back and rewatch the episodes because there's a lot going on in this finale that you're not going to want to miss. A lot of like stuff hidden throughout, even early episodes that you'll want to jump on. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you very, very, very much. Especially Caleb. Great to meet your name, learn your name.
Can I get one last thing?
Please.
Just on that, I want to piggyback off that. It's almost like a new experience too, like watching it all at once. Because now, like we have a substantial amount of content now, and a lot of it now that it's in that linear fashion, it might even be like a whole new experience watching it again, with an appreciation and understanding of the characters. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go back and do it. I've done it a little bit as the things have come out. I'll go back and be like, oh yeah, I really like this part. Yeah, sorry, Colin, take it away.
There's some good stuff. Nope, that's all I got.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us. I'm really grateful to be here with you. Thank you for watching, and thank you to James and Nick for joining us today. And Colin, thank you for hosting. I appreciate all the work you do.
Excellent work, gentlemen, all around. Really great stuff.
Good job, Chaz, directing that
Thanks,
one.
guys.
You too, James.
Thanks. See you guys soon.
All right.
See you next week.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.